guys, and welcome to my channel, Kel's Stitches. This is a channel all about cross stitching and all of the hobbies, I guess you could say, that goes along with it. So today is Monday the 19th of May 2025, and this is Flosstube number 71. I would just like to say welcome to any new subscribers or anyone that's just come across this video and haven't seen me before. I hope you like what I have to show you and my content, and I hope that you come back to see what else I get up to. And thank you for any of my returning viewers and subscribers for coming back. Very much appreciated. That you come back every fortnight or every time I post a video. So I'm just going to get straight into the stitching as I usually do. The first one that I worked on was this one. It is a Legal High, and it is by Long Dog Samplers. This is what it'll look like when it is completed. Just throw those down under there. Oops. Let me just a little bit closer. I'm dropping shit everywhere. This one. And this is currently where I am up to with it. So as you can see, I have moved the Nerge frame, and so I've finished all of this section over here that I was doing, and I've just moved over. I'm just going to move across to reach the far side of the pattern before moving down. But it is looking amazing. I absolutely love this colour here on the fabric. So this is an 18 count coffee dyed fabric that I done myself. And I am using 3 colours of Silks for You floss. But yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. I'm really enjoying the way these colours are coming through where I've placed these as well. I did have an idea, as you can see from my cover photo. This is why I print out cover photos and laminate them, so I can go and make little notations on it, especially with the long dogs, and if I'm doing more than one, if I'm doing 3 or multiple colors, I want to have an idea in my head already of what I'm doing and not forget it. So I usually just make markings on there where I'm going, but at the same time that changes as well as I'm stitching. So I have the main idea in my head where the colors will go, and then as I'm stitching I kind of change it up a little bit, which is what happened here. I wasn't intending to do these here in that color, and this here in the middle, once I got to it, I was like, oh well, I'll just do it in that same color as well. But I am really enjoying how that is stitching up. So I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,700 stitches into it. And I have seen a few other versions of this, not on Flosstube, but I have seen a few other versions on this in one of the Long Dog sampler groups, and some of the colour variations that people have chosen are absolutely amazing. It just blows me away the way some people choose their colours and place them. generally takes me a while to decide where my colours are going to go. So these are the three colours that I'm using, PR151, PR149 and PR192. So as you can see, you've got dark brown, a bronzy colour, and then like a goldy colour. So yeah, I haven't used much of the bronze in it yet, but that is going to be for the main section in here. I'm going to do the bronze for all of this, all of that middle section that's stitched in the, that's the dark. That is going to be the bronze colour. So that is legal. Okay, the next one that I worked on was, and I haven't even got the cover photo for this one out because I forgot. Well, I didn't so much forget that I worked on it, but where are you? Bear with me for 2 seconds while I find this freaking cover photo. There it is. Next one I worked on was this one. So this is what it'll look like when it's finished, and lo and behold, it is done. Let me just put that behind there so you can, I got it finished and I've got it upside down. Alright, now let's have a look at it. I got it all done. So yeah, I stitched on this for 3 days and I got 915 actual cross stitches to finish it off, and then I had the writing for the back stitch and those cobwebs up in the corner. Now I tried to follow the pattern of the cobwebs and it was so difficult to read that I just sort of, I followed the pattern for this one and it looks a bit shabby. And then I just went and done my own sort of cobweb over on this one, and I think it looks a bit better. But I wasn't going to go and frog this one out. And then this writing, oh my God, didn't I have trouble with it, because this is 18 count black Ada. And you know what stitching on black is like? It is absolutely a pain in the ass. Especially if you're stitching at night. And I attempted this writing 3 times. First time, because it said to do it in 2 strands, it wasn't going to work. It was too thick and looked really weird in 2 strands, because this is 18 count. It was sort of kind of, yeah, I don't know. Wasn't working, so I had to frog. I frogged it about 3 times and then I gave up, and I waited until my day off on Saturday, I think it was, and I sat out at the dining table under the windows, and we actually had a little bit of sunshine. It has been raining here for like, feels like forever. It's been a couple of weeks, but the ground's so wet. So we actually had a bit of sunshine. So I sat at the dining table and stitched the words, and I only done them in 1 strand. Now the little skulls and the writing is done in glow in the dark floss. I did have it under the fluorescent light in the kitchen for a little while last night, and then took it into a dark room, and these were kind of glowing a little bit. You could see the skulls, you couldn't see the writing as much, but I don't think if it had been charged up enough under the fluorescent light. So yeah, maybe needs to just sit on the dining table for a little while, for a whole day, just sit there when we've actually got some sunshine, and charge up. So once I can get that done, I will just take a little snippet video and post in one of my next videos, or just as a short or something, just to show you it glowing. But that is all done, and I was going to make it into a little pillow, but I'm thinking that I will actually just get a nice black frame for it and frame it up. And the words say, though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary, ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. So if anyone is a fan of the movie, you will know that saying pretty well, I think. And that is going to be for my daughter because she is absolutely obsessed with Beetlejuice, the old movie. Not the new one. Oh, she's seen the new one and she said it's okay. So, but yeah, she absolutely loves the original Beetlejuice. And that means that I can move on to my next small project that I'm going to be doing. I haven't actually got a cover photo of it up yet. But this is, if I can quickly find it. Oh, sorry. Is it under here? Nope. Wrong one. Under this one. Okay, I don't think I've actually got a cover photo of it. What I'll do is I can't show you because Pattern Keeper's on my tablet, but I will take a photo of the mock-up from Pattern Keeper and put it in here. This is going to be my next project, which is going on this purple fabric that I dyed myself in my first fabric dyeing tutorial video. So, and that is the reason why I dyed that fabric, because that's what's going on it. And then the other day I was looking at the pattern and on Pattern Keeper, and it's got a fair bit of white stitching in it. Let me see, I'm pretty sure I took a photo of it. Yes, I did. Okay, so this is all the white stitching that will be in the pattern. You know what I'm going to do. I am actually going to stitch that, because it calls for B5200. I'm actually going to stitch that in glow in the dark floss. So when it's fully charged up and glowing at night, that is all you're going to see of it. So I think that's pretty cool. I ran the idea past by the partner, and he was the same. He was like, oh yeah, I think that'll look pretty cool. So, and because it's just a round pattern, I am just going to frame it in, I'll just get a hoop, and whether I paint the hoop or cover the hoop in fabric or something, or paint the hoop in a contrasting color or whatever, and then I'll frame it, and hopefully I'll have that done by her birthday so I can give them both to her in October. So yeah, so that was my finish for this week. Only a little one, but it was still a finish regardless. All right, so the next one that I worked on was, I haven't got these in order either. There's this one. So this is Mini Top Frog. The artwork is by Jodie Bergsma, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is just the regular mini version. It's not the max color. So that is what it'll look like when it is completed. Pull that out without knocking everything over. Oh, I don't know why I'm tired all of a sudden. And this is where I'm up to. So you should see where it was last time, and this is where I am now up to with it. So I worked on this for 2 days and I got 800 stitches into it. And it is just being stitched on 16 count, I am sure. Don't even know if the thing is in here. Pretty sure it's just 16 count. Could be 18 count. I've really got to write, either right on the bottom of the fabric what the count of the fabric is, or right on the cover photo what the count of the fabric is, so I can bloody well remember it. But yeah, so once again I was just picking whatever colour was next in this reed here and just working it through the whole page. But yeah, that is looking good. Would have liked to get more stitches on it, but it is what it is. Really got to fix this bag too. The zipper broke on it, so got to either try to put another zipper on it, or I'm just thinking I might just put some Velcro, little Velcro pieces across it and just Velcro, so then it's just, yeah. All right, the next one that I worked on, I'm calling it Two Wolves, but I actually think it's called Wolf Duo. This is a pattern out of a magazine. I don't know what year, did it say what year? The World of Cross Stitching, but it doesn't actually say what year it was from. But they are Doreen Jones patterns. So I am working on this one at the moment. I am over halfway done on it. And I am doing them on the one piece of fabric, one under the other. And I'll put a picture of where it was, and this is where I'm up to. So as you can see, I didn't get a great deal done on it. I only worked on it for 1 day and I got 300 stitches into it, which was all this sort of dark and greys and whites in there. But I'm slowly getting there. As I said, I'm over halfway. I have, because these were a paper pattern, Judy sent them to me. Because they're a paper pattern, I just scanned them on my printer and then loaded it into Markup RXP. It can't or hasn't read the symbols, which is fine. I just pick a symbol and I just look at the paper chart to see what colour I need, and then at least I can mark it off on the app, and it does make it easier. I do the same thing with my Year in the Woods series. I've just scanned them and loaded them into Markup. Again, it hasn't read the legend or the symbols, and which is fine. I just use the pattern to read the symbols and then use the app to mark it off and count my stitches. But this is just being stitched on 16 count Aida. As I said, I am doing them together, one under the other. There's a lot of fabric left here because that is the size of both of them. So this is just an 8-inch Q-snap, and it obviously fits in there pretty well. And that is the bottom of the pattern. So I am just going to do a couple of motifs and a couple of Indian style motifs in between, and then do the next one. So I think that'll work out pretty well. And hopefully, so I'm not classing, because I'm doing them together, I'm classing them as one project. So I'm not classing each pattern as an individual pattern. So, but I think I was saying that if I finish that, I'll still put $10 in, and if I finish the other one, I'll still put $10 in. I don't know. I will see. Maybe that's what I'll probably do anyway. Of course, I was thinking of doing the same thing with the Year in the Woods as well. Once I finish, because there's 12 of them, once I finish one pattern, I'll put the $10 in for my goal, and then once I reach my 7,500 goal, I'll put $10 in as well. That light's blinking again. Every time I turn that light on, it blinks. Like, I don't know why, but alrighty-o. Next one that I worked on was this one. This is my Happy Mood Point sampler. It is SS187 Quaker sampler from Etsy. They are now called Daily Pattern Post, I'm pretty sure, but if you still type in or still search up a Happy Mood Point, these should all come up. Now, I started this as a stitch along with Nicole, who is North Island Stitcher on YouTube. She is also, is it Kiwi Flying Stitch Design? Yeah, I think it's Kiwi Flying Stitch Design. She has some amazing patterns that I've been eyeing off, but I have so many in my stash that I don't know if I need to buy more. But anyway, yeah, this was started as a stitch along with her, and I know Nicole hasn't done a video in a long time, and Judy started it as well. We're all doing different Happy Mood Point patterns, but this is the one that I chose, so that's what it'll look like when it's completed. And this is currently where I'm up to. So this is a restart. I didn't like how the first version of it was going, so I restarted it, and I'm gonna have to sneeze. Sorry if you've got earbuds in and that was really loud. But yeah, so this is also on that 18 count black Aida, and I am using mainly Silks for You Fairy Lights, it is called, and it looks absolutely stunning on the black fabric. It looks amazing. And I am just using, for the accents, I am just using my leftover Petite Treasure braids that I bought for the first version that I was stitching. I thought I might as well use them. I bought them and I might as well use them. So I was like, I was looking at this bow and going, why isn't it finished off? Because that's where I'm stitching. And this marker here is a marker for the next. So I think we're on this one, on this one, and that bow is that one there. So that's that bow, and I'm pretty sure this marker over here is for this bow. So I knew where I had to start it. But yeah, that is looking pretty good. And I am just, like, I'm not doing anything special with the Fairy Lights floss. Like, it is pretty colourful. All I do is I pull one strand out of, and that's only half the hank. I pull one strand out, and then I separate my two pieces, and I just stitch with it, and just stitch wherever I want to go. Usually with this one, I done the border, and then I done these outlining motifs, and then I went in and done the middle. So I just look at the motif, I look at the pattern on Pattern Keeper, look at the motif, and then sort of decide how I want to stitch, and I just go with it. And the colours just come out however they want. But yeah, it looks so good. And that's the end of the pattern there, and that's the very bottom of it. So as you can see, I really don't have, because the other end would be about here, I think. So I really don't have that much left to stitch on it. And I worked on it for one day and got 700 stitches into it. Again, black fabric is a pain to stitch on, but I'm one of those ones that I get the needle and I run it across the back, and every time you hear it pop in the hole, like you go, so you go start there and you like run it across or down, and it's like 1, 2, 3, and I just count like that as the end of the needles popping in the holes. That's mainly how, I mean, you can see it is pretty see-through, this black fabric. Not all black fabrics like this. This one's pretty see-through, and the holes are pretty big, and like it's a very loosely woven 18 count, this one. So yeah, usually it's just by feel I find the holes, unless I do it during the day in the sunshine. And then of course I've still got all the beads, and I was looking at the beads going, well, you know, the beads would actually, because I've got white, blue, green, purple and red, sort of looked and went, well, the green, the purple and the red might actually go. I could, when I'm done, just go and, like in some of the sections in here, just put a few beads just to make it a little bit fancier. But that's just something that I'll see. If not, I can just, the beads are there. I've got the beads, I can just use them for something else. I mean, I should have thought of it, but I didn't. Doing these instead of using the Petite Treasure braid, I could have actually done these parts, the bows and that, in the beads, but I didn't think of it, and it's too late because I'm not going along and frogging all that stitching, so it's not happening. The next one that I stitched on was this one. It is called Tiger Lily, and the artwork is by Laurie Prindle, and it is charted by Pain Free Crafts. And that is what it was like looking, well, that is what it'll look like when it is completed. So I am working in this section because I started in the middle, so I'm working in his face. And this is where I'm up to. As you can see, I have moved the nudge. I think I've got a photo of it before I moved it, so I might pop it in as well. But yeah, so I have moved the nudge, so I've finished that page and I am on to the next one. I have marked out the next 3 pages, and that is the edge of the pattern. So we will just work across to the edge. But yeah, I was going to, when I finished these parts, I was just going to move across or up to start on some of the background, and the partner was like, no, I want to see his eyes stitched. So that's what I've done. I moved up and started on his eyes. So got the one there, and the other one's not quite in. But look at the detail in that. It is amazing. Like, it is so beautifully charted that just absolutely love it. I love Sarah's charting. It's amazing. And she can get the detail without needing 200 odd colours. So I worked on that for 2 days, and I got 800 stitches into it, and it is just being stitched on 18 count 8. The next one that I worked on was this one. It is called Waterhole Master. The artwork is by David Penfound, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is just a regular version. So yeah, I didn't want to go supersized or max color. But yeah, that is what it'll look like when it's completed. And this is where I'm up to. If you can remember, last time I'd finished this page and finished off the elephant's ear. So now I'm just working on this page. You can see that I have finished off this butterfly that is hovering over the back of one of the zebras. So all I'm doing is picking a color down here and just working it through the page, which is how I work it. I just, in the square here, just pick the next color and go for it. Unless I can see that it has, the symbol has a lot of stitches on the page, and then I'll leave it till last. Usually I try to leave the bigger counts stitches on a page, so then it's the last that I stitch in, so it can cover all of that on the back. I know. That's about as neat as I can get the backs of my full coverages. But yeah, so I do travel with my floss. So yeah, I try to do the colours with the most at the end. But that is looking really good. And I worked on this for 2 days, and I got 900 stitches into it. So a Haid page is usually about 4,500 stitches, so I usually only get about 2 pages a year done on this, unless it has a lot of bulk stitching, which this pattern won't because there's so much detail in it. And I was trying to explain to my partner the differences in the size of the fabrics and stuff the other night, and I could just see he blinked out and it just went straight over his head. So now he knows how I feel when he starts talking technical computer terms to me. The next one that I worked on, and the last one that I worked on for this fortnight, was this one. Spirit Guides by Laurie Prindle, and it is charted by Pain Free Crafts. So I am currently working in this section here. And that's what it'll look like when it's completed. And this is where I am up to. So as you can see, I have filled in a fair bit of all this blue and stuff. I worked on it for 2 days and I got 1,300 stitches into it. And again, Sarah's charting is sublime. I mean, you look at the horse's nose and his little chin. Like, you can even see like sort of the muscle and the wrinkles that they get around their nose. It is amazing. And I absolutely love it. I have got a fair bit of this one done. Or a fair bit. I have got a bit of it done. That's the back. So I'm just plugging away with it. There is a bit of like bulk colour stitching in this, so that's pretty good. But yeah, and that's just being stitched on 18 count. Yes, 18 count. And Waterhole Masters is also on 18 count, Ada. As I said, most of my projects are 16 or 18 count, with the odd exception of now a 20 count thrown in there, and eventually a 25 count being thrown in there as well. All right, so sorry, my nose is runny now that I've since I sneezed. Okay, so for the fortnight I got 7,415 stitches in. It is an odd number. Always try to either stop on a 20, a 50 or 100 stitch count, because I don't like odd numbers, but it is an odd number because of the Beetlejuice one. I couldn't put any more stitches in where there was no more stitches to be put. So let's see, we will choose my next lot of my next rotation. So the first one is Shaped Wolf, and I am just going to mark these down as I do them. Now I know Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, is just pulling projects or spinning a wheel to choose her projects for what she's going to stitch on each day, and I have thought of doing it that way, but that's too easy. At least if I do it on camera, it sort of holds me accountable. It's too easy for me to go, no, don't like that project that I pulled out, I'll pull another one. So we've got Stamped, and I know last video I tossed it to the side and was like, no, redraw, don't want to work on that one, but I am going to write it down this time. Come on, please pull out the one that I want. A Year in the Woods. And now they have released the picture for the first one. Let me see. If you haven't seen it, there is a yeah, so they have the new one, have released the new one. I'm just trying to find it and I'm getting distracted. They have released the first of the new series that they're doing, and it is a wolf. So how could I not do that one? I'll probably do all 12 animals in this one as well, but the wolf has just made me go, yes, I really, really do want to do that one. So, yeah. So that's right. Oh, forgot to write it down. So that is, they said that the patterns for those should be out at the end, should be in stores by the end of May for sale in June. Next one is horse portrait. I'm really hoping that I'll pull out spirit guides. Mini Shaman. Not spirit guides, oh great spirit, because I'm so close to finishing that. I would love to actually get it done. Cross stitch for everyone's sale. I am throwing that one back to the side. I don't want to do that one this week if I've got to do the stamped one as well. So Protector. And it's only because that cross stitch for everyone's sale is on black fabric, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to work on. Come on, please be the one I want. Please be the one I want. No. Wild. So it looks like we're going to have to wait till the next rotation before I finish Oh Great Spirit. But that's all right. It will get done. I'll work on these 7 for this fortnight, and yeah. Alrighty, put them over there. Oh, no, I'll put that over this side. Now let me get these photos. Portrait. Skip that one. Skip that one. And that one, take that one, take that one, take that one, and that one. Alright, so I've got the 6 cover photos because I haven't got a cover photo for the Year in the Woods. So these are the ones that I'll be working on, is Mini Shaman, Shaped Wolf, my stamped China kit, Wild from Etsy, Horse Portrait, and Protector. And of course A Year in the Woods, but as I said, I don't have a cover photo for that, so I'm not going to, I can't show you, but I am working on the raccoon. Let me get these all under control. I have to somehow find a way to print off a cover photo for that new Beetlejuice, because the pattern didn't actually come with a cover photo. It just came with a it's just the mock-up on Pattern Keeper that I've got, so I don't know if I can somehow might have to take a photo of it and then just try to print it off, hopefully. So just give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. So we will update my boards. Let me just, so the first one that we'll update is my project finishes board, or goal board. This is the one where I am marking off when I reach the goals. So I've got goal 1, goal 2, and a finish, and we have Beetlejuice right down the bottom here. And I was going to mark it off with a magnet that I made, but someone said, why don't I just write the date that I done them? And I think that's going to be a better option. So I'll cross those two goals off, and I am going to write one date up here and leave a space for the date for the second one. So I finished that on Saturday, which was the 17th. So we go 17th of the 5th. That was a bit wonky for a finish. And then, as I said, there's a space there for the other one. So yeah, I'm thinking of either getting another one of these, which is just a little blackboard, or a smaller, about this size, whiteboard for next year. So I'll still use this one for the goals. Now I've got the hiccups. I'll still use this one for the goals, as I do. The way I have, because that's going to be easier. But I'm thinking of getting another one of these, or as I said, a smaller whiteboard, and making, we will track my monthly stitch count on it, and my total to see how much we're getting totaling, or how much I'm totaling up each month, and then calculate it to see how much it gets up to. So that's what I'm thinking, but that's at the end of the year. So all right, let's mark these off. This is the full coverage, and we have Top Frog, which is here. Oops. And I only got 800. So that is 4,100 total. Then we have Tiger Lily, which was another 800, which is here. Sorry, that was really gross. It sounded gross to me, so it probably sounded gross to you. 4,200 for that total. Waterhole Master is here, which is 900. So that brings that to 4,900. And then Spirit Guides is right next to it, and that's 1,300. Which brings that to a total of 5,300. So we are halfway. We're at the halfway mark of the goal, 10,000 goal for that one. We are getting there, because this one and this one are both at the halfway or over the halfway mark for those two to the 10,000 goal, which is pretty good. Now, if I reach the 10,000 goal, I'm going to up it to 12,500 for the year. So we will see. That ring light's really annoying me. There we go. So we will see how many of these. Last year I managed to get them all to the 10,000 goal, which was good. So we will see how many I can get to there this year. All right, now we have the smalls. So Legal High is here, and we've got another 1,700 on that, which should make this, so that'll be a 5. That should make that 6,500. Please let me know if that is incorrect. We're only 1,000 stitches off the 7,500 goal for that one. So next time I stitch on this, obviously that's going to reach the goal already. Beetlejuice is not on there. Two Wolves is over here. And we got, that's the wrong pen. Got 300. So that should make that 4,800. 80. And then we have happy mood points. They are. And that was 700. So that should be 4,200. So a few of these are pretty close, well over the halfway mark to the 7,500 goal. And again, so this one's close, Year in the Woods, depending on what I get on that. Like last time I stitched on Year in the Woods, I got 1,900 stitches into it. If I can get close to that or even 2,000 stitches into it, I will reach the 7,500 goal. If I reach the 7,500 goal for them, I will up the goal to 10,000 then. So we can just keep reaching for those goals. And then, of course, if I finish it, well, I finish it before I even reach that goal. And a few of them probably will be finished before I reach the goal because they're not that big. Like Great Spirit doesn't have that many stitches left. Wild doesn't have enough stitches to reach the 7,500 goal either. I don't know about the stamped one. What else are we looking at? Don't know if there's, I'd have to have a look on Pattern Keeper, but I don't know if there's 3,000. Because I need 3,300 to reach the goal for Happy Mood Point. But hopefully by the end of the year, there is going to be a few of these that have finish written on them. And I might have to do that in a darker colour, go over it in a darker colour. Just so we can see it properly. But hopefully a few of these will have finish written on them, which will make me very happy because then I can bring in some of my other small patterns that I have stashed and ready to go. I enjoy doing the small patterns in amongst my full coverages because it just breaks it up and it gives me some finishes for the year as well. Now, because I finished Beetlejuice, my $10 goes into my money box for, I did say that I was probably going to use it to kit up a chatelaine. I don't know whether I want to do a chatelaine or not. I'll just decide at the end of the year. I might just use it to buy some kits or some more floss to kit up some of the ones that I already got. It doesn't matter. It's just a goal. It's just a way of incentivizing me to reach my goals, and that way I have a little bit of a stash at the end of the year that I can spend on more cross-stitching stuff. All right, so that's all that business taken care of. I only have one bit of haul to show you. Yes, which is this. My Pain-Free Crafts Crystal Club voucher from the start of the year. I eventually spent it, which I was thankful that I hadn't chosen one yet because I got this one, which is the Orca Crop from the Ocean Panorama by Adrian Chesterman. I have been looking for decent patterns of orcas and that for ages, and I can't really find any. So as soon as Sarah brought this back out, I was like, bingo, I know exactly what I'm spending my voucher on. And it was this one. And I will have another voucher probably at the end of June, and I already know what one that is going to, and it will be the White Tiger by Laurie Prindle, in the same as Tiger Lily. I think it's a White Tiger. Yeah. But yeah, so I got this one as usual. It has come with everything. The floss all on floss cards. The fabric, I got it in 25 count fabric. I was getting them in 18 count and 20 count, but I now just get them in 25 count fabric because it works out cheaper. It always works out no more than what my voucher is. So yeah, came with the fabric, came with the floss. It's got the extras in the bag. Ow. Let me just pull these out. So yeah, 25 count floss. It comes with the new with one needle and a just a random needle minder, which is a froggy. I might have to take this one off and take this and use it on Top Frog, I think, because I can't remember one I've got on there. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do, is use this one on Top Frog. So I will actually just stick that up there. And then, because it didn't quite make my voucher, I ended up getting the matching needle minder, which is the Orca, which I will leave in here in the kit. So when I get around to stitching it, I will use the Orca needle minder. And yeah, of course, 25 count Zygwat fabric. And all of the flosses. Look at the colours. Look at those blues and those greens. Like, amazing colours in there, I tell you. And it's really easy the way Sarah does these. So you can see that they've all got their symbol, their colour and their DMC number. And that's on all of the cards. And what I usually do is I'll just go and write on the back of the card in Sharpie the number, just so if the card's over like that, I can just quickly see it for reference. But let me see here, one of these ones. So the way they do the kit is they put this on, you'll have one loop at the end. All you've got to do is cut that loop. Just snip that loop if you want to, and then that gives you, or well, what I think is a perfect length anyway, which would be about your 18 inches. So if you just snip that loop, and then you can just pull out. If not, if you want longer lengths, well, obviously you don't cut that loop. But yeah, and the spare floss in there, which is obviously for whites and some blues. But yes, very happy that Sarah licensed that artwork again. So if anyone knows of decent or really good, really nice, realistic orca patterns that are sort of similar to this, let me know, because I'd really like to know. I'd love to get some more orca patterns into my stash. All right, I think that's it. So if you were just here for the stitchy stuff, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. I'll quickly get into a little bit of a life update, and then I'll let you all go and watch someone else. I know Stuart just put out a new video, so I will be watching that when I get started on my stitching later this afternoon after I edit and upload this one. All right, so this fortnight has been crazy. So we had Mother's Day last Sunday here in Australia, and I'm pretty sure America and some of Europe celebrated Mother's Day on the same day. I know the UK usually celebrated on a different day. So yeah, we had Mother's Day, and it's always a crazy day at work for us. We're going from the moment we open to the moment we close, and this one was no different. The problem was we had a retirement dinner the night before. For Saturday night we had a retirement dinner for 100, and I think it ended up being like 110 people. At first I thought it was 150, but thank God it wasn't. It turned out to be only for like 110 people. But that was still crazy because it was the night before Mother's Day, and it takes us hours to set up for Mother's Day as it is. But we had to set up for this wedding, I was going to say, this retirement dinner. And then, of course, depending on what time they left, we had to stick around and pull down all the tables and everything and reset for Mother's Day. And so I don't think we got out of there till like 12:30, 1 o'clock Saturday night. And then me and one of my other colleagues were back at work at 5:30 in the morning to get the rest of the tables, like the tables outside and that, set and ready, and make sure everything was right to go for Mother's Day. So, and I think on count, we'd done over 300 people on Mother's Day. Most of them were for breakfast. I think there was like 240, 250 of those were for breakfast. So our breakfast runs from 7 to 11. And then we only done a few for lunch. And of course the boss was like, oh, there's not enough people, it's not enough. And we're like, how many more did you want? We were we were turning over as quick as we could. But anyway, she always goes on about that every year. Not enough people in through for Mother's Day. And as I said to her, this year's a bit different because of cost of living. People can't afford their mortgage or their rent or to put food on their table. How can they afford to come out and spend over $100 for breakfast for 3 of them? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that was good. We done Mother's Day. It went well. We had no major issues. And so now we are looking down the barrel of, what's our next big thing? July races, which is the middle of July, and that is going to be absolutely crazy because, as I said earlier in the video, it's been raining for weeks here, and the ground is so wet that it's absolutely saturated. Walking down the paddocks the other day to feed the horses, I wear gumboots, which of course come to just below my knee. In parts of the paddock, I was walking through water over my ankle or halfway up my gumboots. That's just how much water is sitting in the ground. And we had a couple of sunny days, and the partner was like, yesterday he came in for feeding the horses, and he was like, if anything, we had a sunny day and I think it's freaking wetter out there. And I said, yeah, because the sun's drawing all the moisture out of the ground. So, yeah, of course it's going to be wetter because there's more moisture coming up out of the ground. And then it was meant to be sunny today, but I woke up and it was raining again. And according to my weather, it's going to be raining for the next week again. So, July races is going to be interesting because already they have cancelled a few of their race meetings because they don't want the racetrack too chopped up. But as I said, even the first day of racing, because it goes over 2 weeks, there's like 5 race days over 2 weeks. Even the first day is going to destroy the racetrack. That by the last day of racing, the horses are going to be running in mud. Like, what are they going to do? I don't know. And they can't exactly cancel the carnival because these dates are set in. They are set in the racing calendar. If they cancel, they can't shift it to another time because the owners and that of the horses that bring them to our racing carnival take them to other racing carnivals, and the dates are already set in the calendar, so they can't exactly cancel it. And if they do cancel it, it means that they may not get their dates that they want for next year's racing carnival. So it just puts it in a whole big disastrous thing. So we will see how this pans out, because I was told the other day that we've got this weather pattern until August. Yeah, and we're in what are we, May? 2 weeks. We're in the middle of May. We're 2 weeks off winter here in Australia. So we don't have the sunshine, we don't have the heat to dry any of it up, and everywhere is just turning to mud. And even if it stopped raining today, which it's not going to, even if it stopped raining today, it won't dry out for a long time. But yeah, I was told the other day that this weather pattern is meant to stay around till August. So that's another 2 months of rain. But we will get through it. I haven't seen it actually this wet in a long time. It's crazy, crazy wet. How much moisture is around. And yet we're oversaturated here in New South Wales. Poor buggers down in Victoria and South Australia and Tasmania, all down the bottom end of Australia, are in severe drought. They are in that bad of a drought that they are selling off their livestock because there's no hay, there's no feed, there's no grain or anything. They haven't been able to grow anything to fill their silos and that to feed their livestock, so they're selling their livestock off. Yet we're so wet up here that we can't grow feed either because the ground's too soggy, the seed is rotting in the ground, and the grass is going sour because it is too wet and there's no sunshine. And even if it did grow, we can't get into the paddocks to slash and reap the stuff. So it's, yeah, we're kind of buggered in both areas. But yeah, we're over wet up here and they're over dry down there. Just gotta, surely there's somewhere in Australia that's having fires at the moment too. So drought, fires and flood, that's just Australia all over just there. But yeah, so that's what's happening. My next floss tube will be, let me find it, on the 2nd of June will be my next floss tube in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, I will see you all then. Okay guys, until next time, wherever you are in the world, please take care and stay safe. Bye for now.